this might ruffle some feathers, but men don't like women. They just like fucking women, because anything that is inherently feminine or girly or embodies just being a girl, men hate it, they downplay it, they make fun of it, they mock it, and they're disgusted by it. Whether that's girls being excited or gossiping or doing makeup, like anything, like they hate it, they make fun of it. Women are emotional, blah, 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 blah. And it's just funny because they don't like women. They don't like being around women. They hate women. They just want to fuck us. And I know anytime I make a video that's similar to this, I get comments from men being like, who turned you down, or someone's bitter, or whatever, blah, blah. And it's always the same. And it's just like, you're like, this is exactly what I mean. Like, yes, obviously not all men. I have met men that are great and wonderful, but like, you don't like women. Most of these men do not like women. They don't respect women at all. And
I mean, clearly she can't substantiate her points or any of her issues and any of the BS that she's bringing up, because it's just all BS, right? It's all BS. Now, your whole issue is that men, because we've heard this before. We've heard this before. Men only want to have sex with women, and that's it, right? That's it. As if that's not already literally instilled in us to be sexual creatures. To be sexual creatures. One of the prime commandments is to be fruitful and multiply. How do you be fruitful and multiply? How are you able to multiply? By sticking your winky in the coos. Simple. But she can't even substantiate anything that she's saying, right? So, I mean, for the most part, we already know that guys are willing to, I mean, if most men, right? If most men, even though most of your women are the ones that are filing for divorce at a 70% rate, if most men are just dealing with women, just hear me out. If most men are just dealing with women just for sex, right? Just for somebody to use, then why are a lot of men willing to risk their savings, their life savings, everything that they work for, to jump in a marriage with a woman, knowing that the second he signs that marriage papers, his life and his assets all belongs to that woman in that state. It's just only a matter of time till she decides to divorce you and just wake up one day and say, hey, well, I'm not happy anymore. And now you're sitting here in court having to waste your time and your day. You're missing out on making money just to go ahead and have a judge tell you how much money you have to pay to go ahead and take care of your child, so you can then spend more money on a child. Right. And if you decide to not pay any child support money, you're going to go to jail. If you decide to not want to pay any extra money to a child that you're already paying tons and tons of money for from your check, then they're going to say, hey, well, listen, you're a deadbeat. Hey, you're not doing your job as a father. It's just ridiculous, people. It's just ridiculous, man. It's freaking ridiculous. And to then sit here and say that, well, we only deal with women just because of sex, it's just ridiculous, man. And once again, you can't even substantiate your point. You can't substantiate your point. See, and she's going to sit here and say that, well, I get it. It's not all your men, but for the most part, from what I've seen, most of your men only want to deal with women for sex. Prove it. You can't even prove it. I can't tell you how many times we've seen videos of men literally losing their lives or putting their lives on the line for a child, putting their lives on the line for a woman. We do this on a daily. A man died trying to intervene into somebody else's relationship because he saw the boyfriend whooping up on the girlfriend. And guess what the boyfriend did? The boyfriend did the unthinkable, pulled out the pew-pew, laid the man down like a mattress. And guess what? The girl didn't go get out the car and check on the guy. The girl didn't call the cops for the guy. She took off with the dude, even though the dude that's laying out on the ground was trying to help her.
Do you guys, let's hear from the women first. Do you guys agree with what she's saying? And then
I don't think all men are gonna like every woman. Like, I don't, just because a man might, or a few men might not like you, doesn't mean men don't like women per se. Like, I don't think every man is supposed to like every woman. So.
Okay. I don't think that's true. Yeah, I would agree with you. I think that not all men don't like women. I think obviously people have their preferences and things like that, but to generalize every man is just not fair. And that's a huge problem that we have in this society is, you have a huge portion of women who are saying all men are bad, all men are this, all men are that. And it's usually because they've had a bad experience, they've been hurt before, and maybe need to take some time to heal before they start going out into the dating world again. Because if you're not healed and you decide to go back into the dating world, you're going to attract other people more than likely who are not healed, and you're going to get hurt. So, yeah.
I would say for me personally, no, I don't believe that to be true, but I can see why she would have said that comment. There has been some rhetoric that has gone around that, men sometimes prefer hanging with their homeboys over being around their woman, or sometimes when it's time to cater to some of those needs that your woman may need or desire, or just even being around her, they tend to kind of huff and puff. So I can see why maybe that perspective is kind of taken. But I don't necessarily think that there are men out there that don't like women at all. But I do think that there are some men that maybe don't like women, or they might like the warm parts of a woman, but actually tolerating a woman long term, they may not necessarily be down with that. But I will say in general, I don't believe that to be true.
Men?
I believe that men, this whole perspective of men not liking women, I just think is misunderstood. I think men are being more truthful, and I think because they're being more truthful, that's being misunderstood as men don't like women. No, men are just being more vocal about the fact that they don't like certain things that you say or that you do as a woman, and you taking it as, well, in general, not you specifically. The women are taking it as men are being more truthful. They're receiving it as, okay, so then you don't like me. So I don't think that men dislike women. I just think men are being more vocal about the fact that they don't like certain things about women.
I think it's a certain type of women they don't like. And a lot of women are feeling that they don't like women because the women that they're describing is them. So the women are taking it personal. Certain attributes, certain personality traits, how they might look, how they might dress, and it's hit dog hollering. So that's why,
I doubt he was looking for some buns. I honestly doubt he was looking for some buns, people. But here's the rhetoric that we have. Society has gotten so safe that women can just make these asinine points and not be able to back them up. Once again, you say it's most men, but you can't even prove it. But when we sit here and have sisters, right? Because people, let's just be honest here. When we say, well, it's not, we understand it's not all of your women, right? Because you hear it on this channel, you hear it in a lot of times in the Red Pill and Manosphere. It's because it's a rebuttal to women who always want to derail the conversation and say, well, that's not all women. But then you got to pull out the facts. So, prime example, when we first, when we first started to bring up the fact that, well, when you look at the single motherhood, I mean, it's filled with mainly Black women. Your women will sit here and say, no, that's not true. All your Black women aren't single mothers. This, that, and the third. We understand all your Black women aren't single mothers, but most of y'all are. And guess what they would say? That's not true. So then you got to hit them with some facts. We already know, statistically speaking, 70 to 80% of your single mothers are Black women. We have women who swear up and down that, hey, well, listen, you need to date better Black women because you dating outside your race ain't going to cut it. Anytime they ask a man, well, hey, why do you date outside your race? And every time you hear a Black man's response, who's dating a white woman, who's dating outside of his race, what does he say? He says, well, the reason I struggle with my sisters, right? And this is overwhelming majority, people. Your brothers will say your sisters are loud. Your sisters are kind of rude. They think that they're your equal. They're the main ones who will sit here and tell you God gave you 2 feet and 2 hands. You make your own plate. They're combative and they're argumentative. They're loud. They're aggressive. They will tell you this every single time. But anytime men say that, we're automatically met with some issues. We're automatically met with some rebuttals that does not make any sense, that just simply goes against how men feel. And it's just shaming tactics. Well, you need to pick better Black women. when we look at your marriage rates in America in general with all your women would say not all your women are mean, not all your women are bad, but yet 70% of your women are initiating divorces. When you look at your custody battles, who gets most of the custody? Who generally gets custody of the child? The women. Having the child for 4 days, 5 days out of the week. Come on now. She's being disingenuous. Just another liberal that just want to come on the internet just to try to trash man. But once again, when we say we understand it's not all women, we at least try to back it up with some facts, because we will sit here and say that it's most of your women. And once again, we try to back it up with some facts. Prime example, right? A good freaking example would be, here's an article. I'm gonna see if I can put the article up here for you guys. But since COVID, men are still paying bulk of the bills. And because generally speaking, during COVID, men were staying at home, they decided to help out with the chores. But guess what? Ever since COVID stopped and women started to go back to work, men are still expected to pay bulk of the bills while still doing most of the chores, still cleaning up, when you have the women getting full protection, full eye protection 24/7. They get to come home, just get to make excuses. Oh, I worked all day, blah, 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 right? While the man continuing to not only pay bulk of the bills, but clean up most of the household. People, these are facts. This is how you can tell your men are not in it just for sex. Let's continue.
YouTube, all these podcasts, men are becoming more vocal, as you said, Carmen, and they're having these spaces where they didn't have prior. Women always had these spaces to do little pillow talks and the little girl times, and now men are just being more vocal. They're telling the truth, and sometimes when women don't like what men are saying, they're gonna get like, oh, he gay, oh, he broke, oh, he ugly, oh, he got mama issues. So I mean, if it doesn't apply to me, why am I getting mad? So that's why I feel like a lot of women have a feeling regarding what men are saying nowadays.
I could be wrong, but I feel, in the men, you can kind of correct me if I am. I feel like sometimes if a guy is saying things that he doesn't like, if a guy is saying, oh, I don't like when you wear your hair like that, or I don't like that you wear fake nails, or something to that effect, sometimes I feel like maybe that's also the man's way of telling you that he's vetting you. Like, maybe he's interested in you, but there's certain things that, you know what I mean? Like little things about you that he feels like if he wants you to be his woman, that maybe, I don't like those little things. And maybe seeing if you would kind of, I don't want to say change who you are, but kind of like change certain things or move a different way. Or it doesn't have to be that. It could be anything. Like if a guy is telling you something like, oh, I don't like the way you responded to that, or it doesn't mean he's gay or that he doesn't like women. Maybe he's vetting you and he might like you, but that's just an assumption.
Or he just don't like that ish. Not all men want to have weeds, and I think someone said it earlier.
Standards. Maybe you have standards, and just because you don't meet his standards, that automatically makes him gay, or he hates on women just because he has standards that you don't meet.
I think if a dude is hanging around a bunch of chicks that he's not trying to smash, he's gay. Like in general, I think women are, and I have 5 sisters. I have women are just annoying after a certain point. If you're not married to them or you're not trying to get something from them, because you can only listen to so many stories. You can only listen to so many times that this dude that you told her not to go fuck done did her dirty. You can only get in so many arguments about stupid shit before it's like, we have to fight. Like when you're friends with a dude and he's telling you dumb shit, you can just be honest and be like, you're stupid. But with women, you have to go through a 3-hour story and do all this and pretend that you emotionally attached. You don't have to do that with dudes. So that's why it seems like we like hanging out with dudes more, because we can be ourselves. But with women, you gotta like, what? He was just trying to smash? What?
So are you proving the point? Men don't really like women in a certain way. They just want to have sex with them. They just want to use them for sex. Is that kind of?
I wouldn't say use them. I think the women want to have sex just like the men want to have sex. They don't want to admit it.
I think men ultimately, the first thing is that's the first. I mean, they're men. Like I feel like that's the first thing that they want to do. Like I don't think men even take us on dates without wanting that. Like I don't think men are technically for the most part, their first thought is, I really want to get to know her. She just seems so sweet. And maybe you do. But I think ultimately looking at you like, I have to take her on a date. They probably don't want to take you on a date. They probably really just want to smash. But in order to get that, they have to do a little something, something. So I think.
Let me ask y'all a question. Do y'all think that that's a problem?
I don't, because
I think it's an issue when it becomes disingenuous. So my thing is, sometimes men present one thing, but it's not what they really want. And people say that women can't take honesty. Some of y'all, even the women, might disagree, but I'm gonna say this: if you say, you know what, I just want to smash, just say that. That way, give the woman a choice. A lot of times, I'm just giving you a synopsis of what the issue or where the issue lies. A lot of men present something that they're not. That's the spaces they're in. They present date. They present a relationship. They present these things, but they just really just want that.
But I think
so wait. Y'all don't go into it with the expectation that the man want to fuck eventually.
That's the first thing I think.
Let me preface this by saying I know that not every situation is like that, but from a basic perspective, right? Are y'all not? Because y'all keep talking about y'all want men that are emotionally intelligent, but apparently y'all not as intelligent as y'all think that y'all are. Are y'all so disillusioned that y'all think that the guy you're not assuming that the guy want to fuck eventually?
No, most women are assuming that the man wants to F. The issue is that oftentimes they present like they want a relationship in hopes to. That's where the issue lies. I think if men were just open and honest and say, I just want to smash, that's all I want, and give the woman an option.
All right, let me ask you a question. Do y'all ever say, yo, I just want to fuck? I don't really.
Some women, yes, they do.
No. Hold on. Let me finish.
I know some dogs out there.
Let me finish my question. Do y'all ever just say, I don't want to go on a date, I just really want to fuck?
There are women out there like that, yes.
I personally am not like that.
There are women out there like that.
So to answer your question now.
And I think it depends on how much she liked that man.
I don't think majority women are saying that now.
I agree.
Of course, we know that there's
out there who like.
Hold on, wait. We got to start being real. We know that there are some of everything, right? It's some of everything. But when we speak into the general population, right? Most women do not go without having sex, and most women want sex, but most women do not say, I want sex when they meet a man. They are not that genuine. They are not that transparent what their desires are. So why don't y'all lead with exactly what it is that you're looking for? And why are you waiting on a man to figure you out? And if y'all aren't like that, then why do y'all have that same expectation for men?
I will say for the most part, when dating, I'll say majority of women are seeking, some are seeking to get to know you, but most of the time is seeking a relationship or getting to know you even more. I think a lot of times women will say like, I'm looking for a relationship.
Sometimes y'all just hungry.
I don't think it matters. I really don't.
Sometimes y'all just hungry. Why y'all don't say, hey, I'm hungry as fuck and I ain't got no money to eat. And so I'm looking for a man to take me out to go get me something to eat. Or I need some content. But why y'all don't be transparent?
And what Kanye say?
Because I find it interesting. I find it interesting that the expectation is one way, but the implementation on your end is not the same. I've heard this 1,000 times. Why y'all won't just be honest?
Sex, though.
Oh, why y'all won't just be honest? Why you won't just be honest?
You can't equate food with sex. I don't think them the same.
I will personally say all men love women. All men love women. All men love women. Even the men who are in jail for years because they decided to do some things to a woman, right? And she's like, no. I never consented to any of this, right? I would say they do in a sense, and the reason being is because here's the thing with these people. They don't they don't have social skills. A lot of these people don't have social skills, and some of them were done dirty. So they feel like it's okay to go ahead and take advantage of a lot of your women. But I'm just saying, just hear me out. I mean, if you literally go look at a lot of your documentaries of women getting kidnapped by their abductors, and the abductors do some things to them, a lot of these women say, well, some of these survivors, and I'm talking about even little girls, these survivors will tell you that, hey, well, what I pretty much did was I just made it seem as if, I am his girlfriend. That's the only reason I was able to stay alive, because then he had some compassion. Then he decided to let up off me. Then he decided to, say, hey, well, listen, I'm gonna let you free. That's how some women were able to become free. Because, hey, well, listen, I got kidnapped by this guy. It was torturous. He did a bunch of things. But after being with this guy for a couple of days, and the only thing I knew was to just be feminine towards this man and act like I am his girlfriend, he decided to chill out. A lot of these guys decided to chill out. And that's what I'm saying. Even these dudes, they just suck at talking to women. They may have had a bad experience, and maybe they got the heart broken by some chick that they shouldn't even have been with in the first place. Does not excuse none of their behaviors. I'm just simply just putting an idea out there. If they get themselves a soft woman who loves them, who cherishes them, but also can lead them in the right direction, because obviously these guys are mentally stable. These guys need to be put in jail. These guys need to be in jail 24/7, lockdown. I'm just giving some context on how at least some of these guys think, because when I look at some of these documentaries about some of these female survivors, some of these women that I've kind of watched, a lot of them said, hey, I've seen on a true, a true crime documentary where a woman got abducted and she just act like, she loved this guy and, she was involved with this guy, and the guy chilled out. That's what a lot of your guys are looking for, but they lack the experience. And they just lack the social skills to be able to talk to them, right? So some of these guys end up getting hurt. Some of these guys will never be able to get laid a day in their life, and they go on a warpath. They go on a warpath that they end up going on. And just to kind of go to, their point again a little bit earlier in the video, a lot of women got to understand, some guys just look at you as a woman they can just lay down with and go ahead and shoot the club up, and that's really about it. But not every man look at you as a wife. Not every man look at you as somebody that they can say, you know what, I want to have kids with this woman. It's a sad case, but for the most part, a lot of these women put it on themselves. Why? Because when you sit here and tell women, hey, listen, you might want to dress a little bit better, because you're going to get unwarranted attention. You're going to get attention from guys you do not want attention from. What do women tell you? Women will tell you, I don't care. Men shouldn't even be looking at me that way. Men shouldn't be this. Men shouldn't be that. But you're wearing clothes, man, that's going to attract attention. And you are looking for the attention that you want, but it's mainly going to attract bad and negative attention. And these are the same women that will then jump on here and say that, hey, well, listen, these men just only want me for my body. These men only want me for sex. That's literally where it's coming from. That's literally where it's coming from, because I bet you if you ask the woman at the beginning of the video, can a man police a woman about what she wears? She will tell you no. And see, it's funny that these women can just jump on TikTok. This is the issue that I have with TikTok. These women just jump on TikTok and just run off at the mouth, and they think they're doing something because they have a bunch of other women to support them. But go and sit here and argue with somebody. Sit here and talk to somebody. I'll bet you they will destroy your whole logic. They will destroy your whole logic. You can't go out here dressed like a woman that's about to go to a nightclub and expect, a knight in shining armor. It's not going to work that way. You're going to get a bunch of men who just want to use you for one thing, and that only is your problem. Dress how you want to be addressed. So when a guy is looking at you and you got your breast out, you got your ass out, generally speaking, some guys are going to look at that and they're going to say, okay, well, I'm going to try my best to see if I can try to get it to Olive Garden, spend a couple of $40 and hit the same night, and they're going to be gone. And these will be the same women to jump on the internet and say, these men just want to hit. That's it. I would say most of your men just want to hit. That's literally where it comes from, people. So once again, blame these people who will sit here and get upset with you. Just ask these women if they have an issue with that. If they have an issue and they say that, hey, well, listen, my stance is most men just want to use your woman for sex, just ask them, do you feel a man should be policing a woman's body. Just have a conversation with them about that. It will just open up. And it's like, okay, well, you invite this stuff on yourself. So there's nobody fault but yours. Shout out to Sis saying that men are pretty much vetting you. All right, men are vetting you. Men are vetting you. And once again, it can go down one or two ways. Once again, at first step is how a man views you. Off rip. If you're going to sit here and say that men only want women for sex, I'm just letting you know that off rip, how you are dressed is going to determine whether that man is going to approach you as a bop or approach you as a woman who is modest and who has some self-respect. If you dress like a bop, expect to be talked to like a bop and expect a man to try to do whatever he can. And if a woman can catch on to it, she'll catch on to it and she'll be like, oh yeah, no, he just only want one thing. But look at how you're dressed. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. You think you can get the same respect as a woman who is modest, who is dressed up. Whereas a guy who looks at you, okay, bop, and then you look at a woman who is dressed, modest, I'm gonna come to the woman, or the guy's gonna come to the woman. They're gonna have a very different approach. That's just a fact. They're gonna come with them. They're gonna come to them respectful. That's just it. And I would say that most of your women who dress like bops, you would get good men and bad men to approach you as if they just want to smash. And once again, both of them are going to have the same intentions. Both of them are going to have the same intentions. One is going to know how to do it easier and willing to be patient, whereas the other one might just be a creep or might just be a freak and just want to hit it that first night. But the same intentions versus a modest woman where she will only have one guy who is just trying to smash, right? And he's just all over the place to creep. He's still going to be he's still going to come with somewhat respect, right? But still going to be, you can just tell from a mile away, versus a guy who's dressed up like Morris Chestnut, got a tuxedo or whatnot, rolling up to you. He's going to come with you with respect. And then it leads over to a conversation. Hey, let's go ahead and go on a date. Let's go to a coffee date. Let me get to know you a little bit better. And you find out that she's a bop. Okay, well, either might not want to mess with you, or, hey, well, I'm more than likely just going to just end up hitting you. That's just about it. Or maybe I can change you. But for the most part, I'm going to beat. But you still have the opportunity to lock down a good man. Whereas a woman who dressed like a bop, not happening. So, I mean, y'all guys let me know down below. What do y'all guys think? Do me a huge favor, leave me a like, leave me a comment, and subscribe to the channel. Until the next one.